All right, I'm going to have a go at the Guardian's weekly Everyman crossword. Let's see what Everyman has for us this week. Bring up opportunity to see Hitchcock movie. It's funny seeing the word movie in a British newspaper, but yeah, it must be rear window. Yes, if you bring up a child, you rear it, and an opportunity might be a window. There we go. Ooh, a nice grid too. Does and bucks rampant in grass. All right, well, does and bucks are deer. And rampant, I think that comes from heraldry, like standing up, so reversed. Read. Ooh, 1 R17 before Romeo. Well, I was going to say Romeo can be the letter R in the NATO alphabet, but I'm wondering if it's Alfa Romeo. So if 17 maybe is something to do with cars, now we'll come back to that. Walnut, not half, and a little discovery are Fuji's chord as prepared in diners primarily. All right, we have our weekly primarily clue from Everyman where we take the first letters of the word, sorry, and usually then those words describe. I'm thinking it must be Waldorf salad, which has walnuts and apples. But I think it's a little bit different this week. I think we take half of walnut to get the first WAL and a little discovery are Fuji's, I think is the DO. Oh, I think maybe little discovery is DR. I can see, and then we have F for Fuji. But how do I get the salad? Yeah, maybe it's a Waldorf CAPID. Is that a word? Waldorf capid? No, surely it's salad. Waldorf salad. Oh, as prepared could be AS anagrammed. I'm going to put in the salad, but I'm very confused by this one. All right, we'll come back to it. Greek character danced topless with subtlety. All right. I think it might mean with subtlety, and it's probably an LY word. I think we're going to start with a Greek character. I don't know. I think I think the Greek character is new, and I think it's the word danced without its top D, and that's going to give nuanced. All right. A little yabo near there, where you live. Oh, well, I think it's a hidden clue. A little is telling us to extract from yabo near there. We get on Earth, and sure enough, that is where we live. All right, revolutionary, loud apron wearer. Loud can be F forte, apron wearer. Yeah, so maybe it's a word for revolutionary and then an F. Let's try these downs. Around end of dinner, Hail her cab, mostly arranged in ranks. All right, there's a lot of wordplay indicators there. Around the end of something, arranged mostly. I think the definition is going to be at the end, ranks. So I think we're going to anagram hail her CA minus the B, so mostly arranged. And then that is going to go around a D, the end, or sorry, an R, the end of dinner. And ranks. That's funny is that doesn't have an S in it. So it may be an irregular plural. Maybe a Latin word. No, now this one I thought maybe begins with F, undergarment that goes on before blusher. Good clue, but I don't see it. No. All right, fixes ale to order and gets out of one's skin. Fixes ale to is 10 letters. I think we order that or reorder it. Get out of one's skin. Oh, exfoliates, I think, maybe. Yeah, there is an S there. All right. So this might be alpha indeed. We'll come back. Fancy fellows, drop of bottled French water. Well, a drop of any word might be its first letter. So B from bottled, French for water is O, and a fancy fellow could be a beau. Making racket, foregone conclusion, excellent, a huge piano. Wow, where's the definition? A huge piano? Oh, a concert grand, I think, is what you call those very large pianos. But I don't see how to get that from the wordplay. Making racket. Foregone conclusion, excellent. I think excellent is grand. I'm not sure about that one either. Everyman is being a little trickier this week. Now, Dodge City last week said, "Oh, this week's was easy," but I'm finding yes and no. Anyway, we'll see how I get on with the rest of it. Acted like a steam train traveling over the moon. Oh, well, I'm thinking like acted like a steam train, maybe like puffed, traveling over something. Oh, it's not puffed, it's chuffed. And if a footballer, they might say they're over the moon, or they might say they're chuffed. Hot air ignored. Do. Well, do I think might be the definition and could be a party of some kind. Not a hen do, but hot I think might be that H. And then air ignored. Yeah, I don't get that. Not fine, flaunted, displaying cards in deck like so. No. Musical, excuse me, fashionable in the past. I'm thinking of maybe the name of a musical. Fashionable can be in or hip, and then a word for in the past. Okay, that could be ago. Ah, yes, fashionable is chic. And then I go, I like it. All right, how am I doing now with my... Yeah, let's try the anagram helper and hail her CA plus the end of dinner. And we do have E and two A's, so that's okay. Arranged in, oh, hierarchical, I think. Ah, so it's, yeah, in ranks, I think is the definition. Oops, hierarchical. I think I would have said hierarchical, but I think hierarchical is fine. Oh, our revolutionary is Che. He comes up a lot, Che Guevara, and then loud is forte, and a chef might wear an apron. Ah, yes, I think this is just simply a double definition. I think they did used to refer to undergarments as foundation garments, and foundation makeup goes on before blusher, I presume. Oh, I think this must be a hairdo, and so it's a hair cut. H for hot, air is air, and something. Oh, yes. I think in the old days, if you ignored somebody, it was quite a deal, quite a thing, and they'd say he cut me in the street if somebody walked by you. All right. In turn, they'll get you going. I think that I was going to say must be an ing word. Could be IVE. In turn, they'll get you going. Is it something like the Automobile Association? There must be a vowel before the G. Now I'll come back to it. Seconds, cheap in the extreme and most delicious. The definition could be seconds, but no, I think cheap in the extreme. Is that going to be just the C of cheap or the C and the P? Ah, no, I think it's going to be S for seconds and then a word for most cheap. But by putting the S in front of it, it becomes most delicious. Not scrumptious. I can't. Something like that. Most scrumptious is what I'm trying to say. Ah, cheap could be something like crummy or no, I don't get it. Department's leader reporting to top, teacher and idiot. Now, reporting makes me wonder if there's a homophone involved. Someone wrote her a note, or some wrote her a note somewhere in Iran. All right, well, some again could indicate a hidden clue. And within wrote her a note, we have Tehran, somewhere in Iran. Announced boxy workspace. Well, announced definitely sounds like a homophone indicator. I'm thinking, yeah, I think the workspace must be cubicle and boxy. Is there a word? Cubical, Cubical? And that's then a homophone of that. All right, let's go back to the across. So that was the cards in the deck. Now, musicians from China, barmaid enlivened. All right, I think we're going to anagram China barmaid. That's 5 plus 7, which is 12 letters. And we have the AHB. And we're going to get our musicians. I think it must be a something band. I think it's going to be a mariachi band, which I have heard many of those in my time in Texas. It's a great sound. Your crossword compiler is only half there, always. Wow. Well, if we look at everyman, which is 8 letters, the first 4 letters are ever, which would mean always. Okay, sporting fixture, racket bust, let rip. I think it might be a phrase that means let rip. And I'm wondering if we start with I was going to say with a 4-letter sporting fixture, but that would end in C, which doesn't seem likely. And then an anagram of racket. Yeah, I don't get that. C's movement even, you say. Okay, well, the C's movement would be the tide, and that is a homophone. It sounds like TIED. If the score is tied, it is even. Stand-in actor to read European articles first. I think it might be a stand-in. Maybe a stand-in actor to read. European is usually just E. I don't know the articles then. The, a, an. Well, what's the first? Maybe first is the definition. All right, let's finish the downs. Foremost of peaks enveloping river Ucayali, whatever that is, here. So I think this is another one of those. Actually, maybe this is making up for the other primarily clue, because peaks enveloping river whatever spells out Peru. So there we go. Remain conscious throughout Australia Day, finally. Yeah, I don't know. Day finally would be a Y. Throughout Australia. Maybe the definition is remain. I'm wondering if it could be stay. But then how is STA equal to Australia throughout Australia? No. All right, here's our department's leader now, an idiot. Is that the definition or part of the wordplay? I'm going to pause and ponder that and sip my water. Yeah, so rereading it, it's now obvious that department's leader is the first letter of D. And once I considered that, I saw the word dunderhead for an idiot. So D for department's leader, reporting to is under, and the top teacher in a school would be the head. All right. Not fine. Flaunted, displaying cards. Displaying cards in the deck could be like fanning the cards. Like so. No. All right, most delicious. Yeah, I think it might be. And I think we've had this word before, and I wasn't quite sure that I knew it, but I think it is scrummiest. Anyway, if that is right, yeah, because I would have definitely spelled crummiest with a B, so I'm not sure about it, but I'll leave it in. Not fine. Let me pause. I mean, that must be an N, surely, but let me pause and think what other letters might go in there. Ah, yeah, well, I've thought UN is the most likely. I did think of the word updraft, but I didn't think that was right. And then I thought, oh, cards in a deck, if they're still in the deck, they might be undealt. Not a word I've ever heard before. And so fine can be abbreviated to F. So the word flaunted without the F is launted. And if that is displayed, which is crosswordese for anagrammed or rearranged, then that would say anagram launted to get undealt. Very tricky. Oh, I never. So now, okay, one R17. Is that referring to undealt before Romeo? Now, one could be definitely A. How are we getting LFA? Or we're getting ALF before A. Well, yeah, I don't even know what other word it might be. A something, F something. I'm going to leave it in, and if anyone can explain why it is alpha for Romeo, but from the wordplay, how do we get alpha? I have no idea. All right, this is our intern. They'll get you going. All right, let me pause and think about what the first letter might be. Well, I see when I got to I that the word ignition would fit, and I can see how that might have something to do with they'll get you going. But I hate to admit I have no idea what part of the engine that is, ignition something. It's at the back of my mind that I may know it, but can't think of it. All right, how about my sporting fixture? Racket bust, let rip. Maybe it's an anagram of racket bust. Track something. Sporting fixture. Like a track meet, track. Or truck something. Don't see it. How about my stand-in actor? Oh, I wonder if maybe we have European articles, so articles of speech from European languages. So maybe un is one of them. And then maybe le or and then a word for to read. So it might be to read, and then the European articles come first. So then the U would probably be part of to read. Oh, read can be, that's it exactly. To read a subject at a university in Britain means to study that. And of course, a stand-in actor. It's un plus the German der. That's very clever. All right, so that does end in a Y. Conscious throughout Australia. G'day? No. Um, they'll get you ignition. Oh, ignition pins, maybe? That would put an I there, so it wouldn't be an anagram of racket bust. And 5-letter word, I something E. No, I don't like that. Ignition. No, I think I'm going to go to the internet and find out what ignition bits get turning inside your engine. It's not the part of the engine, it's the thing you turn, of course. You turn them and they get you going. The ignition keys. Oh my God, I was making that one far more difficult than it needed to be. So now I'm wondering if this could be a track event, would be a sporting fixture. Bust is telling us to anagram racket. And then if you let rip and you give someone your opinion, you might be venting. That's good. All right, so I think this must be stay, remain, all right. And then conscious. Oh, the finally applies to the 4 words before it. So conscious throughout Australia Day, of course. So I think I think there were a couple I didn't fully understand. And I know the concert grand was one of them, but I think it must be right. All the other crossers are confirmed, and it is a huge piano. Foregone conclusion. Yeah, other than grand for excellent, yeah, I would have thought foregone conclusion would be the last letter of foregone. Oh, no, I think a foregone conclusion is a cert, a dead cert, something that is certain to happen. And a racket is a con. That's very misleading to say making. But I think the way it's intended is a phrase for a huge piano makes up racket, foregone conclusion, and excellent. Yeah, so just yeah, tricky way of saying it. All right, did I forget any there? Oh, alpha was the other one now. I still don't understand my alpha. Anyway, if you do, please let me know. All right, thanks as always for watching and have a great day.